Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to Back Talks. This is Dr. Sean McWilliams. And did you know that it's Spinal Cord Injury Awareness Month? What's cool about September is that September actually has a lot of cool anniversaries for spine-related events and celebrations and historical things. So we're going to be talking about one of them today because, you know, a lot of people don't realize that over 17,000 new cases of spinal cord injuries occur here in the United States. I live in a great city, Atlanta, Georgia, where we have the great Spinal Shepherd Center here that's been known for decades and decades of being one of the foremost places in the entire world to come if you have a spinal cord injury, where you're paralyzed or something like that, where there's severe injury. But what a lot of people don't realize is that you can actually injure your spinal cord and put pressure and irritation in the spinal cord by bulging discs and herniated discs. And that can cause a lot of issues for people. And it can compress the spinal cord, causing tingling, numbness sensations. So if you're getting any sort of discomfort like numbness in your shoulder, arms, hands, it's very common to feel it in your fingers, and each one of these fingers actually lets us know perhaps where it's being, where the pressure is. These two fingers is the C6 nerve branch, the middle finger is C7, ring finger and pinky going up is the C8, the shoulder is C5. So that lets us have a pretty good idea of where there's pressure taking place at. We obviously don't want pressure on any of those areas, but that's a silent thing. Well, and sometimes not a silent thing if your body's whispering you at that. So that's important to know and to listen to those warning signs, because it could be signs that there's pressure on your spinal cord. I'm just refreshing my pages here, just so if you're live and you got a comment, would love for you to say hello. So I'm just looking at my other screen as I do all this by myself. So there you go. And there's a lag as well when it comes to this by about 30 seconds. So just keep that in mind. If you ask me a question, it takes me about 30 seconds to get to see your question, but I want to answer those for you as well. So, all right, I can see my comments now. So if you have one, please say hello. Would love to hear from you and tell me where you're at in the world. And most importantly, if you have a question about spinal pain or discomfort, I would like to answer that for you today while we're on this live. So let me know in the comments. Hey, Marisa, great to have you here. So what else do we need to know? Well, one of the things that we want to know, and I think that's important if you've been with us for a while, is to understand that spinal decompression has a major positive effect. It can reduce pressure on the spinal cord or thecal sac quite well without surgery. And so if we go back to this model right here, if you've had an epidural, if you're a mom and you had an epidural, perhaps, that was for pain relief. And so here's the spinal cord, and there's a covering around the spinal cord called the thecal sac. And so when we do an MRI on your spine, we're looking to see if that disc that is perhaps misplaced like this is putting pressure on the thecal sac or onto the cord, because we know that that can interfere with the flow of the cerebral spinal fluid from around your brain going down the spinal cord, and we don't want that for you. So that's one of the things we're always going to look for on your pre-MRI. And not that it's a scary thing, a lot of times we can actually reduce that pressure onto that thecal sac or that spinal cord, or totally eliminate it over a period of weeks. So it's a thing that you can do. So I want you to know that, and it can be done non-surgically quite successfully using amazing tools like this, spinal decompression tables. And the purpose of those tables is to bring hydration into your discs, bring more oxygen into the disc, give the disc what life needs to sustain itself, and that's oxygen, that's nutrition, that's water, and that's also getting rid of metabolic waste products. And when that process slows down or stops, the body can't heal itself well. So we want to give it everything that it needs to do that. And one of the ways that we get to do that is use an amazing tool called spinal decompression. And the cool part is that you don't even have to be able to go to a doctor's office to get it done. You can actually do spinal decompression at home. We have people all over the world doing it. So if you'd like to learn a little bit more about that, I'd love to share that with you. So don't think that if you can't find someone in your city to help you do that, that you have to be a surgical candidate, because that is not the truth at all, okay? So I want you to know that, and because that's important. Because a lot of people think that, you know, they're being told surgery is their only option. Don't ever believe that, just so you know. I would say 95% of spinal injuries that I've seen over the years have all been able to be managed non-surgically. 5% usually need surgery. That's a big difference in the scales, right? So don't let anybody push you into fear that you need to get spinal surgery before you talk to me, okay? And why do we do this? Hey, Sue Scheckler, great to have you here. What's happening up in Pennsylvania these days? I'm assuming that you are still in Pennsylvania. Let's see. Well, here's one of the things, you know, that we want to see. You know, before, when there's before spinal decompression, you know, you can get compression onto the spinal cord, into the nerves that you're seeing, you know, right in this area, and you know, we don't want this. You can see how that's pushing back and irritating that spinal cord area. And when you do spinal decompression, you can see afterwards how you can help pull that material in with an over 80% success rate. Take that pressure off and reduce that inflammation and compression, and improve nerve flow. And that's what it's all about. So don't ignore these signs, okay? If you're having any sort of the signs like we were talking about, make sure you send me a DM, put the word spine in there so I know that you need help, because I want to help you. Nothing brings me more joy than being able to help people around the world who are suffering with this needlessly. If you could see to my right, which probably looked like your left, we have a huge map of the world with all the people that we are helping around the world, and I want you to be next. So even if you have a family member who is a mom or a worker or a grandparent or an aunt or an uncle that lives somewhere else in the world, and they're suffering with chronic neck or back pain, and they're being told that surgery is their only option, have them reach out to me, and I'm going to give you a little URL so that you can go, because this is what we want for you. We want you feeling like that again, because life is great after decompression. That is for sure. I've seen that for a lot of people. I have a girl right now who's, you know, is going to have surgery done and did decompression with us, and you know, she's almost 100% pain-free, back to work full time. So super cool being able to do that, and I want you to be next. So please don't ever give up. Don't let anybody force you into having surgery, just because I'm seeing that happen a lot. Doctors putting fear into people that I know, that I'm seeing on Facebook, and they're getting massive surgeries, massive spinal fusions done at 20 years old, 18 years old, 24 years old. Man, once you get that done, you can't go and do non-invasive therapies like this. So make sure that you talk to me first, okay? Or someone else that you know in your community that's certified in it. How does someone know? Marissa's got a great question. How does someone know if they are a good candidate for spinal decompression? Well, you know, if you are experiencing any of the symptoms that we talk about, you're usually a good candidate for it. It's your body whispering and maybe sometimes screaming at you to let you know that there's something that's not working properly in your body. A good way to tell is to talk to someone who's nationally certified in spinal decompression. And those people have, you know, had to take extensive courses and testing to make sure that they know what they're talking about. So those are usually really good people just to have a conversation with, me being one of them, and that's why I do this every week, so that you have a platform and a place to come and ask questions about your back and get great guidance from a professional who's been doing this for over 30 plus years. So I hope I answered that question for you well, Marissa. What else? Anybody else have any questions for me? I try to keep these to somewhere around 10 minutes, where we're about that mark right now. But that was a great question, so thank you for asking that, Marissa. Excellent question. So, Sue, I hope you're doing great. Hope your family's doing wonderful. It's always great to have everybody here. If you don't have a question for me, we'll say goodbye. Take care of your spine. you know, it's really one of the few areas of the body that you just can't get replacements for. You can get artificial shoulders, you can get artificial hips, you can get artificial knees. You know, they're doing some amazing work with 3D printing here now, but there's really no artificial spines yet. They make some artificial discs. I'm a little nervous to see how that's going to pan out here in the next 10 years. It might be okay for your first year or two, but you know, I'm nervous because if those discs stay out of place, you're gonna have big issues for sure, especially goes back and hits your spinal cord. So, you know, if you have the opportunity to keep hardware out of your spine, you're gonna probably have a much better quality of life. Because once you start fusing spines together and vertebrae together, it will take that load in that area and dissipate it to the area above and below that load. And now that has extra load and stress on it, and that becomes your new stress point. So it's this cascade of events that continue to occur for most people. So always, always, always seek out a non-surgical approach first. And if you want some help with that, you can go to this guy if you know who he is. Go to booking.drshamicwilliams.com. You can get on my calendar. You'll see all my times and events that are available. Click one that's convenient for you. You'll fill out a form and let me know what you've been dealing with or what your family member's been dealing with. So share this, please. I can't talk to everybody in the world. I need you to help me do that and share this message. So you can go on there, pick that. You can let me know everything that they've been dealing with, what they've tried, what hasn't worked, what are they being told. If you have imaging, you can send the images over to us as well so we can look at them, and then we'll sit down for 15 or 20 minutes and I'll give you a complimentary second opinion on your images and what's happening, and see if a non-surgical approach for you could be a success strategy for you. And honestly, if I don't think that it would be, I'll be honest with you too, and I'll let you know that. It's pretty rare that I have to say that, because most things can be managed non-surgically and non-invasively with excellent outcome strategies, okay? And that you get healthier. So I hope that helps. Make sure you take advantage of that. I don't have a lot of those spots, so get on your computer if you know someone and make sure they get set up with me while I'm still doing it for free. Okay. Let's see, what else? Thanks, Marisa. I appreciate that. Your spine is your lifeline. Yep, ask anybody who damages theirs. They will tell you that very, very quickly. Go onto some of these groups on Facebook and go look at the people who are having bulging and herniated discs, and go look at their MRIs, go look at their surgeries they're having. It's not good, guys. And I want your life to be filled and vibrant. So, you know, because health really is wealth. And if you've ever lost your health where you've gotten scared, you know that that statement is incredibly true. So we want to help you keep your spine healthy, because it is the system that controls every other part of your body. So you want to keep it as healthy as possible, and that's why I do this every week, is to teach you some little tips and tricks and answer your questions to keep it healthy for you, okay? So great questions, everybody. I appreciate it. Yeah, set up your call with me, please, at booking.drshamicwilliams.com. Thanks, Marisa. Hey, everybody, have an amazing weekend. Great to have everyone here. I'll see you next week. Instagram at 12:30. And Facebook and YouTube at 1. And if you have a subject that you want to know about when it comes to anything about the spinal column whatsoever, send me a DM, put the word spine in there for me so I can see it and I don't miss it, and let me know what you'd like to know about so that I can do some work for you and do a live and get you the answers that you need, all right? Because I like doing that stuff. All right, great having everybody here. Have an amazing rest of your day, and happy September.